Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the episode, Gigi Report episode. Now we begin with a big question. We are 20 months away from the next general election in 2022. And as you all know, Kenyan politics heats up as soon as we know we're getting near the elections. Now, today we're going to start with a very big question. What and who will dominate the political conversation in 2021? So I want to welcome you to the Gigi Report, this episode in this new year. As you all know, the Gigi Report is a platform where we discuss big and bold ideas and from a cross range of issues, economic, political, social, and theological, and philosophical. And I believe that you will learn a lot as we engage together this particular year. And my guest today is no other than Vincent Kimoso. Vincent is a governance and public policy expert and consultant, and he is here with me, and I'm very excited to have you here. Welcome, Vincent.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How are you doing?
I am above average.
Very good. Very good.
I look forward to a bold and big ideas in JJ Report in 2021.
Yes.
And I think I should start by congratulating you by keeping it. If you remember where JJ Report started, now becoming a TV product, I think it's good to say thumbs up, Bwana Gigi.
All right. 2021 is going to be big.
Yes.
I believe we're going to push up the conversations.
Yes.
We're going to address big issues. We're going to be as bold as possible.
Yes.
And I believe that we're going to work together. And I believe viewers this year, we're going to push boundaries and really have real conversations, as honest as possible, and address matters that are relevant to our day. And there are a lot of things that need to be addressed, and I believe that it's going to be different this year. So welcome to the show.
Okay,
Vincent,
you've asked some questions on who and what will dominate the spaces in 2021.
Yes.
So what I will say is that one is that let's segment the issues.
Yes.
There will be dominant conversations in depending on the space. So one on the political, which is really one thing that occupies a lot of our headlines and our spaces,
yes,
is that the succession 2022 will be the big elephant in the room. Everything you say, everybody would be wanting to know,
yes,
which side are you angling as we move towards 2022. So succession 2022 will be the major issue.
Major issue.
The platform for conversing and engaging on succession 2022 will now be the BBI.
Okay.
So for the next 6 months, I can assure you it gets to be comfortable to be hearing and talking around BBI, whether to support, to see what can be done to slow it down, because BBI now is the platform for conversing and building political platform, either to stop another or to actually see how to organize. That for me will be the major issue, politically. And then number two will be this pandemic on COVID-19 will still continue to be a discussion.
Okay.
Now that as we see that the numbers globally are still on the rise, new variant, even in the UK, you saw that just this week, the current Prime Minister has just taken the UK to a new lockdown because of the new variant of COVID-19.
Yes.
The other thing that you also see globally will be the new administration, the Biden-Kamala regime. What will be the agenda post Donald Trump, considering how tumultuous the handover has been? That even as we say, like less than 2 weeks to the end of the term of Donald Trump,
Yeah.
you are seeing he's still saying he's not ready to let go.
He is still putting up a fight.
So that will the Biden agenda will
Okay.
will dominate global politics, as you can see clearly.
Yes.
Donald Trump was more intrinsic. He was an inward-looking president.
Yes.
But Biden has said the U.S. is coming back to the wall. You can
Okay.
see their conversation on environment. You can see their conversation on building a global coalition towards supporting the neoliberal agenda.
Okay.
That for me will be an important thing. Then the other thing on the economic front, starting at the domestic level,
Yeah.
is the issue of building lives and livelihoods,
Okay.
which in summary will be the economy.
Yeah.
I can tell you, since you've said we are a place of bold and candid conversation, is that Kenyans are hurting.
Yeah.
And we have to use this platform to say that as we are talking about economies, jobs have been lost. You're seeing very clearly that retrenchment, loans, people are struggling on the economic front.
Okay.
Now, the reason why this ought to be the dominating conversation, yet it is not,
Yeah.
it's because the key issue on the table, which is politics, we are
Yes.
nearing an election.
Yes.
And when an election is on the table,
Yeah.
Objectivity and rationalism takes a secondary step.
Okay.
I want to even take it further, the domestic front, on why the economy will also be a major conversation.
Yes.
Is because already the cabinet secretary responsible for national treasury
Yeah.
has already come out public that they want to shift and lift the debt ceiling from the current 9 trillion
Yeah.
to 12 trillion,
Okay.
because our coffers, we are struggling as far as revenue mobilization is concerned.
Okay.
I just want to say that moving forward in 2020
Yeah.
will now be the personalities around the conversation. I think I've started with the issues.
Okay.
Let us go to the personalities.
Okay. So let's kind of take it.
I am.
You've raised a lot of issues.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
And that's good. Global issues.
Yes.
The transition in the US.
Yes.
That has a major implication
Yes, it
on
has, yeah.
and global politics.
Yes.
Exit Donald Trump.
Enter
Biden and Kamala Harris.
Yes.
So that's going to shift things at the global level.
Yes.
The pandemic is a major
Yes, it's still a major
agenda. It's going to continue to be relevant. Maybe in the, I think most of these years.
Yes.
Most of these
yes,
years.
yes.
Until the vaccination program is put in place and there is confidence that people, we are pushing back the pandemic.
Yes.
And all that. So that is going to dominate the conversation.
Yes.
And then on the domestic front, I think you've raised the issue of the political environment is going to be dominated by succession.
Yes.
And that succession debate will be anchored, or will be, the driving agenda, or rather the driving platform will be the BBI.
Yes.
So who is on which side?
Yes.
And then, of course, the domestic economic challenge issue. As we now, of course, now we've come from a very difficult economic situation where obviously the economy had to shrink because, economic activities had to slowed down because of the pandemic. And so the recovery agenda, that's going to be a major dominating issue.
There will be a problem on the conversation around recovery.
Yes.
Because who will lead that conversation? Because here you have a president who only has one budget. By the way, if anyone, I can actually
speak on. So I think we can maybe begin. Let's begin with the economic front.
Yes.
The domestic economic front, and raise the issues that are going to dominate that conversation.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
I said one will be the issue of recovery. Okay. How do we first bring back confidence in the economy? Because we have two intervening variables.
Yes.
You have an economy that needs to recover in terms of getting people back to work, building the confidence of people to come back to the restaurants, to the tourism, hospitality, all that together.
Yeah.
And you also have people who have almost depleted their savings because remember, we have been at home. So what happened is that people have been pushing further, going for loans here, chamas. Also, people have been eating back on what they have saved.
Okay.
Now, so it means that one of the things that if you require, now let me talk about, let me speak as an economist.
Yeah.
In economic theory, if you want to grow an economy, you have to do two things. You have to use what you call the fiscal tools together with the monetary tools. In summary, so that we are not theoretical. But you said in Gigi report, we talk about philosophical. When you talk about the fiscal tool is you allow the budget or you facilitate government spending to increase so that businessmen can do more business with government. Then the other tool that you use is what's called the monetary policy, whereby you increase the money circulation. So one of the ways that I hope really the central bank can do is to lower something like the cash ratio, so that banks can have more money that they can lend into the economy. Because if we do not do that, what's going to happen is that we are likely to recover as fast as we would want to be, because a big part of our economy is the service industry, together with the agricultural sector. So if you improve, therefore, the facilitatory factors for those sectors, then we can easily go up. And then we also have a youthful population. And when you have a youthful population, if you do not engage them in activities that ensures that their creativity is onboarded into the economy, what happens? They can also be used or mobilized for the wrong things. That's when now the drug business, all the bad things can easily happen, because the energies can easily be mobilized. So for those policymakers who are listening, is that we have to find a balance of actually balancing the political discourse 2022 succession vis-a-vis the recovery. And the person who is going to be at the center of this is none other than the president, because the president he's not running again. So the best thing is that all he needs to do is to be able to see how to balance the two sides, because currently the sides that are shaping is the Raila Odinga wing together the William Ruto wing, because these are people who are ambitious. They are telling the president, hey, how can we support you? But make sure you don't disturb our momentum. So on Raila Odinga's come is that we have to get BBI to succeed. Because this is my platform that I have worked very closely with the president to be able to see it through. Then here is on the deputy president's wing, who is selling an agenda, say, hey, can we, this discussion around BBI is a conversation around the big man's issues. Who he's talking about the small man. So that is the whole conversation around the hustlers narrative. But if you deconstruct the hustlers narrative very well, you will realize that it is not really an empowerment program per se. It is a platform for a political discourse. And I think on this conversation, we should say it as it is. Because we are on the Gigi report. So
the hustler narrative.
Yes, it is what is it? It is let me use the correct term by saying it is an innovative, let me say imaginative way of actually changing the conversation and ensuring that you move it from what we call the back street to the main street. Because on the BBI platform, it has been packaged as the dynasty and the establishment platform. So
you have to find an alternative. You have to find an alternative, a counter argument. So to outweigh the other argument, because the BBI is largely being seen as strengthening the dynasty agenda.
We talked about it.
Promote those guys at the top. That's what we talked about last time we were discussing the hustler
and the dynasty. You see, Gigi. We have a country where 5 tribes. That is I normally call it as it is.
I know you call it as it is. So you don't hesitate to name names.
You have the Kikuyus. Then followed by the Luyas, and then the Kalenjins, Luos and Kambas. Those 5 tribes occupy 75% of our population. So the leadership of the country has been done by these countries, by these tribes. So they have expanded the executive to introduce the president, to retain the president, deputy president, prime minister, and 2 deputies.
It's actually at the proposal level, of course.
No, but come on, where we are at signatures are being verified as you're talking by IEBC. So these guys have created positions for themselves. So on one side, you will always require a lineup that has these tribes.
The argument has been laid, the document has been crafted, and now the signatures have been collected.
Verified as we are talking.
The
IEBC is verifying signatures as we are talking.
Very good.
And you know very well that the process is very clear. After IEBC finishes the verification, and you saw very clear the politicians are so smart. Do you know why they went for 5 million signatures?
Yes.
They went for 5 million signatures because 5 million divided by 19 million, our registered voters, you're talking about over 40%. So their strategy is to make sure, they wanted to show that even when we go to the referendum, even if we just get these 5 million who endorsed, we have our way. So then you have one lineup, and then they've given a soft landing to the leader of official opposition and his running mate. And then they have also made sure that politicians come back as ministers. They have given assistant ministers. So, and that's what I was saying. Now, the people who crafted the hustler narrative just realized this one is going to benefit the establishment. Now, how will we make sure that the ordinary person is part of the conversation? So, as an analyst, because we are supposed to do analysis here, I will warn people that don't jump very soon into either the dynasty or the hustlers narrative, because these are people who are angling and positioning themselves for power. Ask yourself this question.
So it is not about the the Mwananchi.
No, at the moment, because
but
who has put a manifesto on the table and an agenda? Remember the issues we've just talked about, that people have lost livelihoods. People, unemployment is real as we are talking in the country. You realize that you had to hear the agenda on addressing the public debt, addressing unemployment, building, ensuring that our youth have opportunities. That conversation they are not part of. But currently, the big conversation is that these are the dynasties and these are the hustlers. But it is a power conversation.
Absolutely. So, well, great. I hope you're following us, and I believe that this is really fire. Vincent is on fire. We are really addressing issues. We would like to encourage you to comment and to send in your comments on the social media platforms on the screen, and the number on the screen. You can send a text and you can make a call, and maybe just tell us what you think and what are the issues that we are probably not addressing, and maybe other issues that you think we should bring on the table. So, Vincent, I'm going to ask you one more question, another question. In this whole scenario of the BBI and the agenda, I would like to ask you, do you think that Uhuru Kenyatta at this point, and this is a political question, is ready to name his successor in 2021? Will we know who Uhuru Kenyatta has anointed to take over from him? Or is that something that is a conversation?
First of all, I want to commend you for asking me such a bold question, because we in our society, we like hiding around. So this one, please keep it up. Uhuru Kenyatta named his successor in the past, but he backtracked at some point.
Oh, is it?
So yes, there is a time
we missed all that.
Oh, you did not miss it. It's just that there's a day he was somewhere. I think either that was in Eldoret, and he says that kumi yangu, kumi ya William Ruto. That was seen to be a statement of his successor. Then at some point, and I think he said this in the Rift Valley. Then at some point he went back. He was in central Kenya, and when he was being disturbed by the politicians, and he said, "Hey, ladies and gentlemen, before I think it was before the handshake, he says, wait, the person who I'm going to name as my successor will surprise most of you." So here you have somebody who went out, we let the cat out, but looks like the water, he was not able to manage the backlash of that
the backlash.
Then he has now gone back to say, hey, I will name the person I will name will surprise most of you.
Yes.
So in my view, there are two ways of looking at it.
Yes.
In our politics, Gigi, and I really appreciate this platform, because here we have the freedom to say some things,
Yes.
and we are doing it as we advance kingdom lifestyle.
Yes.
The way we converse our politics is that you go back home, put everybody in your community under submission.
Yes.
So if you come, I come from the Rift Valley. If I wanted to come to the national table,
yes,
the first thing I go, wrestle everybody, put everybody into submission,
and get anointed by the elders from your community.
Then I come to the table and say, ladies and gentlemen,
yes,
what are you bringing?
Yes.
So, and this is also a function of resources. If
yes,
you don't have resources in terms of money, it becomes very difficult.
Yeah.
Now, you realize that the heir apparent to the leadership in Mount Kenya after Kibaki was Uhuru Kenyatta, and you could see everything was done towards making sure that Uhuru Kenyatta is the one who succeeds Kibaki as far as the leadership in Central Kenya is concerned.
Yes.
Now, you notice that Uhuru Kenyatta has made sure that there is no one beyond him. Currently, you cannot, when you look at Kiunjuri, people are not sure. They look at Mutai Kagwe, people are not sure. Yes. They look at the Moses Kuria, because also Moses Kuria is positioning himself, they are not very sure.
Yes.
The message that tells you clearly, it's that Uhuru Kenyatta is not ready to let go in terms of being the person who gives direction in Central Kenya. So he might exit the stage at the national level as the president, but it looks like he wants to still remain around.
Still sit on the eldership seat.
And that is why you see there's a lot of jittery in Central Kenya.
Yeah,
this gentleman, Kangata, writes a letter, and everybody has gone
ballistic.
And there is nothing new is raised in the letter. He just said, I went to the ground, and he says, kwa Kiswahili, ground, mambo ni tofauti. That's basically, but the real message in the statement from Kangata is who will be the first one to bolt out of the blocks in Central Kenya.
Absolutely.
Where without unsettling Uhuru Kenyatta, because you can see very clearly the young politicians in Central Kenya are restless. They're saying, we see Uhuru Kenyatta has 2 years.
Yes.
We need to invest in a project whereby the person whom we invest in will guarantee our political life for the next 10 years.
Okay.
And since there is no one who is very clear in Central Kenya, and that explains to you what is happening as the current unfoldings, because Kangata wants to position himself by saying, you see, I had to advise our son. Even can you imagine? Let me tell you, politics is very interesting. in a national office, the chief whip, which is a national position. In that letter, he writes in brackets, when a time comes when one of our sons, and he is canvassing national issues, regional issues on a national platform, and even telling you very clearly that it is everybody is positioning himself. Who was the person who was seen to have given the community the right direction?
Okay.
And I can tell you currently, all publicity, positive and negative in politics, is publicity. We are talking about Kangata here. And that's why some people are not happy. Because
actually, what my observation would be that it's clear that it's not very clear who exactly will step in after Uhuru's exit from the top office, who will step in as the point man for the Central Kenya political game plan. And so there is a sense in which there is a vacancy. But it's not very clear how that vacancy will be filled.
Because you have to you're taking on a giant. You know, you see, in other circles, I know you are, as a pastor. And there's this scripture that says, if you want to go and attack a strong man, what do you do first? You have to put your mathematics right. Do I have what it takes to dislodge somebody? You see, that's a very powerful position. You even saw with William Ruto together with Gideon Moi. I come from the Rift Valley. The role of the Talai clan is that they have given the priesthood role in the community.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But break that a little bit for us, although we are running out of time. I saw there are 10 kind of sub-tribe in the Kalenjin communities. Is Talai one of them?
No. Talai is part of the Nandis, but it's a clan that has spread among the different communities. Like I come from the Tugen community, and we have a clan called the Talai among us.
Okay.
So it is their role was the community is divided. the Kalenjin community is not a kingship type.
Okay.
It is a chieftain.
Okay.
So the chiefs preside over the court cases, and then they give leadership.
Okay.
Then you have commanders, the people who fight and to defend the community.
Okay.
The Morans, when you go to the Maasai.
Okay.
Then you also have the prophets, and you have the who are called the seers.
Okay.
So the people who are called the seers have an advantage because they are seen to be able to relate to the spiritual
Okay.
and tell the community which direction are we going.
Which direction? Like
So
the
what-
sons of Issachar in the
Yes.
Bible. All right.
So what happens is that when therefore a matter has been decided,
Yes.
and that requires a priestly blessing.
Yeah.
Like if it is marriage, for example, if it is leadership and a rite of passage.
Yeah.
That is when now you involve the priesthood to declare a blessing upon the issue. So
Is that the role of the Talai?
that is now the roi of the talais.
Okay.
And,
So-
and that is why you could see they did the same to Kibaki, they did the same to Moi, and they also did the same to Uhuru Kenyatta.
And then
once
what
they have
about the Moyot? There's a
that is the terminology. There are also those who have taken this priesthood
Yeah.
in the wrong direction.
Okay.
Those who are seen to be their chief or the senior among the priests is the terminology is the name is called Orkoyot.
okay.
So once you have decided, like they want to go to war, you are the ones to call them, and then they declare a blessing upon the warriors to go for war.
Okay,
Now,
okay. So
the same thing happens to
Uh-huh.
when they're going. Let me just say to leadership.
Yeah.
So they already did the ceremony to William Ruto.
Okay.
But there is also somebody who is saying, hey, this gentleman called William Ruto he came late into the party.
Okay.
I am the son of the former president, the person who was blessed by the father, that this is I am the heir apparent.
Okay.
So anyway,
so
we can have a discussion.
Yes,
I'm happy
yes.
to-
We are going to go into a break, and
Okay.
Vincent, I think you've raised very pertinent issues.
Thank you, sir.
Because what we are saying is that the whole idea of heirship, transition, and leadership is very, very deeply embedded in our cultural narratives and in our sociological issues, and so it's a very deep thing.
Can I tell you something before you
And-
go on,
and,
before you go on a break?
Yes.
If you declare today that Gigi, I am running for governorship anywhere,
Yeah.
the first question will be, ni kijana ya nani?
Very good. All right. We will come back after the break and continue with this conversation. We're looking at how the outlook for 2021 and political, and we will see how things spin. So we go for a short break. Then when we come back, we continue with this conversation. Keep writing and texting to us and sending us message. Thank you.
How can a pastor deal with offense?
Know that we minister from a place of relationship. We have a relationship with God.
Marriage is a beautiful institution.
Companionship is a place of friendship.
According to God's purpose.
What is a career path?
It's a journey that you take in discovering yourself as you rise at the different levels.
Melody nimekupima, this is your blood type and this is your hivyo, but anasema lakini your Melody you are HIV positive.
What exactly does it mean? Politics is dirty.
Is a symbolism of the rebel, of the theocratic rule
Of God.
of God.
The life of a believer will always have a distinction.
Jesus has mandated you to be called the salt of the earth.
Greetings from Fountain of Compassion Church, South India. This is Reverend Paul Moses. I'm so delighted about the launch of Elevate TV. When Jesus was taken by Satan to the mountaintop and he showed him the kingdoms of the world, how was it possible? That's exactly what happens in a television with multiple channels. But when Jesus rose again from the dead, he redeemed us and he has given us the authority to take the good news. And I pray that this channel will be a city on the hilltop. It will be a lamp on the lampstand. It will bring hope to the hopeless and the gospel truth to those who are struggling in darkness and in despair. Media is a powerful tool. Like Jesus came through the closed doors to meet his disciples and give them peace after resurrection. May Elevate TV be penetrating across borders, across closed doors, into the bedrooms, into the living rooms, that many will find Christ and the peace that he gives. I pray and bless this channel according to Isaiah 27:6, that Israel shall bud and blossom and shall fill the whole world with its fruit. There's a wonderful lineup of content, programming, and cutting-edge technology. May this channel fill the airways and the atmosphere and the networks in the internet, not only in Kenya, but across Africa and the nations of the world. I bless this channel. Watch it and share it with your friends.
Welcome back to the Gigi Report. I believe that you're following us closely. We are addressing the outlook for 2021, the political realignments and economic issues and all manner of issues that are going to spin out. We kind of like just trying to kind of posit an outlook. How will politics look like in 2021 going into 2022? Like we said at the beginning, we have only about 20 months to go to the next general election, and politics in Kenya tend to heat up as we near the election. And before we went on a break, my guest Vincent was trying to tell us how leadership transitions are done, and we delved into the nitty-gritties of, for example, the Kalenjin community in the Rift Valley, how they work this thing out. And we can see it's already beginning to play out in the public domain, in the media. We've read stories of the Moyot and the Talai, leaders, and the push and pull, and the lobbyists and all that, and the people that are possible heirs to that throne. And so, Vincent, yes, I think we left out where you're trying to explain how all this plays out with the name of like finding the right person who carries the vision of the community. So tell us a little bit about what is going on right now, because we've read it in the press. What is at stake exactly in the Kalenjin or the greater Rift Valley community in terms of finding the right leader to represent their interests and their vision?
So number one, you have William Ruto, the deputy president.
Okay.
The Kalenjin community has tasted power for 24 years.
And that's very significant.
They know what it means to be in power.
All right.
You do not. That is why when they are voting,
yes,
they do not. They head in one direction.
They know what is at stake.
So here you have the deputy president.
Okay.
He's a heartbeat away from the president.
Okay.
Because that is what the constitution says.
Exactly.
And then he is a son of a peasant.
Okay.
And and then here you have the former president.
Yes.
And you have his son.
Yes.
Even when you saw when they were laying the father to rest.
Yes.
They actually did they made a political statement by handing him over.
Yes.
The baton.
The baton.
Now, culturally.
Yes.
According to the Kalenjins.
Yes.
That should not have been done publicly on that day.
Okay.
Because there is something, it's a terminology that is used, it's called polishing of metals.
Okay.
In terms of cleaning the house and addressing you do it after 40 days.
Okay.
But knowing that the laying to rest of the former president was a political platform where the whole world was watching.
Okay.
So the
opportunity should not have been lost.
The political the schemers and the planners, what they did is that they said, we have to make a statement on this day.
Okay.
That the heir apparent of the political dynasty of Moi is his son.
Okay.
And that's why you saw they called the elder son Then
Jonathan?
Jonathan was late is late.
Oh,
They called the eldest Raymond.
Raymond, yes, was called.
And because Raymond, culturally, according to the community, the firstborn, the firstborn among all of them is the natural leader of the home.
Okay.
Then he says, tell us who is the political heir apparent, and he called his last-born brother, who the father had said Nihuyu.
Okay.
Now that was a political statement to say that hey, in the Rift Valley, Ikiti iko na mwenyewe.
Yes.
Now here you have the William Ruto, who has walked his way out.
Okay.
To the park, and even to the place of being a deputy president.
Okay.
So the people in the Rift Valley say, hey, wait a minute. Remember, we are not a monarchy.
Yes.
We are a chieftain system.
Okay.
Whereby we discuss among us who is the most able to lead the interests of the community.
Okay.
So at the moment, then they say that we have been number one. We know how it means to test to be number one.
Okay.
We've also been number two. We also need to know.
We are familiar. We know what it means to be number two.
We can only go higher.
Okay.
So here you are, the senator of Baringo. Yes, you are a Moi and everything.
Yes.
You have a name, you have a network, you have a political
Somebody
party.
said he is a prince.
But there is an issue of, will we gamble with the interests of the community to a prince, or will we go to somebody who we can see he is almost getting there? That is the conversation.
Actually, if you ask me,
yes,
between the two guys,
yes,
one is a prince,
yes,
the other one is a warrior.
Yes.
In the sense, warrior, not in the negative sense, not in the war sense. And I need to be clear about that, so that people don't see as I'm construing, violence.
I can represent the interest of the community.
I mean warrior in the sense that someone who is a self-made fighter, and we are talking about political fight. You
are not far. Let me tell you something. If you look at William Ruto, you will realize that the person at the family level who is known, it is the mother.
Yeah.
You do not, there is no much that is said around his father. The only much you hear him talking about his father when he says that Jameni, ata baba yangu hakukuwa kansela.
Yeah.
So what happens when you are born and raised in such a background, and I share a background with him, is that you do a lot to compensate.
Yes.
That is why for him to get into the seat, he has to go all the way to the PhD level.
All right.
For him to get into the political seat, he has to speak with all the articulacy that is required.
Yes.
He's always active. That happens with people who have had a disadvantage in life.
Absolutely.
So
and I think
then the prince says, Amonijui, I am here. So one of the challenges with the people who come from a prince or a royalty like Uhuru Kenyatta is the entitlement card.
Okay, so I think that's a conversation we'll have for another day.
I am ready to have
it. So we'll have that conversation for another day. But I think we have elaborated on the issue of succession is going to be a major card playing out this year.
Yes.
And maybe
the people whom this conversation will revolve, number one is Uhuru Kenyatta.
Okay.
You cannot take away
the question we asked at the beginning was who, what and who.
So the who now is Uhuru Kenyatta, because if Uhuru Kenyatta says tomorrow it's GG, let me tell you,
I will change my suit. I'll buy another suit.
GG Report will get a new host.
I'll buy a new suit. All right. So
GG Report will get a new host.
Okay.
So that Uhuru Kenyatta. Then number two is the former Prime Minister.
Okay.
Remember, the former Prime Minister has been around from '92.
Okay, that will be. We will not go into the details, so that then we can address the other issues.
Number three, will be the deputy president.
Okay.
So when you talk about tier one politicians in this country, there are those three.
Okay.
Then there are others.
Tier two. Let's talk about tier two, because tier two matters. Because of how those dynamics play. Tier two.
Tier two. Now you bring in Mudavadi.
Okay.
You bring in Kalonzo.
Okay.
And I would want to say not yet there, but on his way to tier 2, that is Wetangula.
Okay.
But the real people in tier 2, you're looking at Kalonzo Musyoka together with Mudavadi.
Mudavadi.
Yes, and then you come
what
to
would be the role of Atwoli?
Atwoli,
Yeah.
They are.
Is he a lobbyist, an arranger?
They are cheerleaders.
Okay, cheerleader.
So if you are on the stadium, the person who beats the highest drum and facilitates everybody, brings the group to cheer, that is his position.
Okay, so
yes.
I think what we are saying is that, as you can see, and you know, we are also going to begin to ask the question where the church lies in this whole conversation. We will be coming back to that. But I think what we are saying is that we see the leaders that are in tier 1, the leaders that are in tier 2, maybe you could even say they are tier 3, up and coming and possible. People who are being
all the way to tier 7.
People who are being like suggested.
Yes.
You know, we have people like somebody mentioned Mukisa Kitui the other day. Of course, people have been thinking about the Machakos governor. Is an up-and-coming. Kibuda Kibwana has been mentioned a bit. Remember, you cannot forget Mother Karua. She's still in the game. Come on. You can't leave Mother Karua out of the game.
You know, we need to be bold.
Nat Kenya. Don't forget Nat Kenya.
You need to be bold. I am not forgetting them. What I'm doing,
so it's
I
okay.
am being pragmatic here, Gigi.
Exactly.
You know what happens there? One of the challenges, you know, I have been in this thing at least from, let me say, the first time I actively participated in politics was in 97. I was in Form 2.
Okay.
Then now 2002 was my peak.
Yes.
At that time, we were idealists. We were saying democracy, good governance, and all that. But you know, when you go to the ballot at the end of the day, it is all those things. What matters is who carries the day. You people are number 2. You become history.
Okay.
And the person who carries the day is the person who shapes the narrative.
Okay.
What I tell people when it comes to politics is that keep the ideals.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But take practical steps. Ask yourself, of the people who are running for these positions, who is it in terms of my issues? If my issues are 1, 2, 3, who is it that is closer to them? You will never get everything you want.
Yes.
In fact, you have even talked about the church, and where I am, let me say this with a lot of humility.
Yeah.
The challenge with the church, and I am saying this with a lot of love that I have for the body of Christ, is that they have not shaped their issues to be able to come to the political mainstream.
Okay.
So you will say, when you go to politics, instead of saying, when it comes to politics, the way Samuel did,
yes,
we remember the choice of a king. He listed the issues, the benefits, and the merits of having a king.
Yes.
And he told people, make a choice. The Lord your God has been your king.
Okay.
So what we need to do is to listen to the people and say, hey, when it comes to the seat of a governor, these are the things that you must look at them.
Okay.
And then anyone who is closer to them, please, we will not, that is the person to vote for.
Okay.
Because when we don't do that, what happens? We remain to be a people who matter in social circles, but our numbers don't count in the political space.
Absolutely. So you've nailed it, and I think we'll leave it there.
Yes.
Because I want us to return to I was trying to bring in the list of the 4th tier and all that.
And you're very interested in Mother Karua.
And the list, the Mother Karua story and others who I have not mentioned. But we said we're going to be bold on this particular platform. But I think we can rest that issue. So we could say in general that the succession is going to be a dominant theme in this year. All the way, because the election means that it's the person that really carries the day. It's the person that pushes the agenda to the very top and dominates the conversation. And that's very clear. So I think, and then we asked the question of whether Uhuru Kenyatta is likely to name a successor. And looking at that, we've seen it's very gray. It is very gray.
Yes.
It is very confusing. At one point, he named a successor, and then now he was forced to backtrack or hold his horses or something. And that conversation is an unfinished conversation.
Yes.
And so that remains. So I think we would be doing injustice if we don't address at this early part of this conversation the issue of, now let's go back to the tool, to the platform called BBI.
Yes.
We say that BBI is going to play a key role.
It is already.
So the question I want to ask is, will BBI sponsored referendum happen?
Yes.
And just answer straight.
Yes, I will not even mince my words. The answer is a yes, and yes in bold.
Okay, so BBI is going to happen.
Yeah.
The momentum is there. The paperwork is ongoing. The steps are being followed, and most likely we will go to queue to the ballots on this BBI.
Yes.
Okay, good. Granted.
Actually, the question will be when. It's not even a question of if.
So those who are thinking that the 14 billion budget is a problem or whatever it is, they can continue talking, but the money will be found.
You remember that I speak as an economist.
Yes.
All problems are not economic.
Yes.
Political problems easily find solutions.
Yes.
And if there is an elite consensus that we need to go to the referendum, let me tell you, it will happen. Yes, we've just opened schools, and you remember, it is schools where it is in schools where we are voting, right?
Yes.
Elections have been happening, by-elections have been happening during COVID-19.
Yes.
In fact, even Uganda and other countries have gone to elections during COVID.
Yeah.
So I would want to say that BBI may not be a priority economically, but it is politically. So what do you do?
And by the way, like you noted, I think I reviewed the Vision 2030
report. Yes.
Yeah, report.
Yeah.
When it was initially formulated,
yeah.
And even now, I mean, people probably have lost, have not been following the conversation. But the Vision 2030 is anchored on three pillars.
Yeah.
So one is social,
economic, and political.
Social, economic, and political.
Yeah.
So the social pillar, is education and all that,
health,
and stuff like that.
And all that. Yeah.
Economic is of course, the economic development, the various subsectors of the economic development, and then political is the political process. Ensuring a just and I don't want to throw in the word progressive, but a just society, a political process that is
inclusive.
Inclusive. I think the key word is inclusive. So what we are saying is that as much as we feel that economic problems are at the fore right now, we've just come from a very difficult season, economic season, or we are still in it and trying to recover. We still need to have this other leg in place.
The president had, I was meant to be in a meeting where the president convened.
Yeah.
As I was a technical advisor for the church leaders.
Okay.
And he convened a meeting in State House.
Yeah.
And in the meeting, it was very clear that BBI is president is so much in it.
Yes.
And if you look from his first pronouncement in the Madaraka Day speech last year, then his speech during the Jamhuri Day celebration, his speech on the eve of year 2021 was talking about the referendum.
Okay.
What the president seems to be convinced
is
that he has looked at the graph.
Yeah.
That every time we near an election, the economy shrinks.
Yes.
Then it takes another 2 years to recover.
Okay.
Only in 3 years, you're back to an election.
Okay.
So he has realized that the political system that we have, and I if you'd allow me to repeat what I said in the previous show, where I said that we build a constitution that the leadership model is the Ferrari model.
Okay.
Where you have it's an improved version of a Ferrari.
Yes.
Where you have the driver with a small seat for a co-pilot in the name of the deputy president.
Yes.
But the thinking among Kenyans, these are pro box people.
Yes.
They want, pro box can carry 15 people and they will all get to the destination.
Okay.
Where you have 4 people at the front, 4 at the back,
Yes.
and then 5 seated at the boot.
Yes.
So when you have to fit the cloth according to the size of the people.
Okay.
So since their political mindset has not gotten to the Ferrari, which we have under the current constitution, then that is I see as the thinking of the president. Let us broaden the executive and dignify the opposition so that the political noise in every election goes down, and then therefore the time we have for economic recovery is fast. That for me is what I see as the legacy
All right.
President Uhuru Kenyatta wants to say, I want to leave a united country, because I can assure you, if we have the BBI going through, one of the possibility is that you are likely to have a reduced political noise come 2022, particularly if the election is well and effectively managed.
Absolutely. And I think so we have optimism. So what you're saying is that there is as much as I think normally when you read the press and you read social media especially, it's always very negative. And I think there is a reason. I have a hypothesis why that is the case, especially the social media. Because the people on the social media are not your average kind of people.
They are GG and me.
It's people who are high in openness, people who are,
and that's why if you're not,
breaking people.
If you're running for political seats and you're doing very well on social media, you are actually you are in for disappointment.
Absolutely.
Because the challenge with the people in social media, they don't turn out to vote. They are called keyboard warriors. You require them to push your narrative and to make you famous, but you cannot depend on the conversation in the social media.
It's a kind of an echo chamber. It's a place where conversations happen in a very unrealistic way.
And remember, also very convenient. You have data, you have your laptop, you have your phone.
And by the way, there is the sense of anonymity. So you can say something that you actually don't quite believe.
And that's why you notice serious politicians don't take a lot of time on social media. They only use it to raise their issues. But when it comes to where the real vote is, I have gone to the ground. And writing posts on social media, there are two different worlds.
There are two different worlds. And I think that's a very, very good thing. So, so the referendum is going to happen. So if the referendum happens, of course, there will be the winners and the losers. And I don't know, we don't have so much time to look at who will be the winners and who will be the losers. But this is a conversation we can have later.
I'm more than happy. I can summarize for you by saying this. The crafters of the BBI narrative, as I told you, it's a succession thing. Some really wanted a situation whereby you have a yes and a no team. So that the yes and a no team succeed progressively towards the 2022 election to say the Green Brigade and the Red Brigade. Now, I was telling somebody that they had prepared a situation whereby you have the president together with the former prime minister on one side.
On the
and
yes
then
side.
you have a yes side proponent, and you have the deputy president on the other side. Now, the deputy president has become a smart politician. He has realized that would have been his hanging chambers. you know what it would have. So you can be able to.
He was being wooed into a corner. He was being
you
actually.
can be able to say that they had taken the right measurements of the size of his neck, and the rope had been tied very well, just waiting for it to be pulled. He actually escaped. By ensuring that he did not give that platform. So that is why you notice that BBI is currently very colorless. The conversations has moved from the BBI. It's still remaining to be the dynasty versus the hustlers narrative, because that is helping ensure that is an equal footing. BBI has not provided the equal footing platform to have a political discourse. So I can tell you that the impact of the yes and no out of the BBI will not be the same as the 2010. Because it was the 2010, you could see these are the winners and these are the losers.
So I think then that brings me to a very important place to ask the question, the big question. I think something has happened. I kind of almost feel like it's by God's grace that trap, that kind of arrangement did not go that way. Because the last time we were on this platform, we talked about the challenge or a
non-contested referendum.
The non-contested referendum, because previous contested referendums sowed seeds of discord, which we harvested. 205, we sowed the seeds.
I am thankful that you brought that. You see what we had in 2007. you cannot get the correct picture if you do not look at the impact of the 2005 referendum.
Exactly.
So there's the situation currently, and I want to say that when we pray, which we should be thankful to God,
that is exactly
the narrative has shifted in our current conversation.
That is the point actually I'm coming to, and say, so how should the church pray? In 2021, I think now, because the message here is, look, 2021 has a kind of a very interesting outlook, like we have said. You know, we have looked at the political, succession politics around it. We know there is going to be a major economic, issue because the recovery agenda, and we don't know what shape it is, but the momentum is there that we need to find a way of recovery.
In terms of prayer.
So what is the prayer direction?
The prayer direction is on one fold. The Bible says that if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and then seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, and then pray.
Okay.
So for me, what I would advise the body of Christ, the church, is that number one is that let's pray for the president and those who are in leadership. One prayer that Uhuru Kenyatta requires is that he will be transcendent as a leader during this period.
All right.
Because you have the formations towards 2022. If the president takes the transcendent position, like you saw what with Kibaki, Kibaki did not meddle so much with the succession of his time.
Okay.
He had a candidate in the name of Musalia Mudavadi, but he did not go outright there. He remained as a uniting figure. So for me, my prayer for Uhuru Kenyatta, that whilst he is a proponent of BBI, that God will give him wisdom to remain the transcended leader, the symbol of national unity, the person to go to if things go wrong, particularly during this process. That for me will be my first prayer. Number two is that let us pray for the economy to recover. People are hurting. Let me tell you, when people are, you are a man of God. You saw the story of famine in Genesis. When people go through a famine, food insecurity is worse than terrorism. People are ready to sell their lives if they don't have food. So one of the things we need to pray really is the words of our national anthem, that plenty be found within our borders. If the Lord will extend the rain so that we can have production and food, that for me will be the other prayer. The other prayer that we can also pray is that during this duration, that as we move into the succession politics, that we will now move to issues. Because for a long time, you were hearing Kikuyus this, Luos that. Luyas this, Kalenjin that. That we will now have this conversation on what kind of a better Kenya do we need to build. So that when we are listening to Raila Odinga, assuming he's running, we are asking him, yes, we know, but what kind of a Kenya are you going to build?
Absolutely.
The same to William Ruto. The same to any others, including Muhisa Kitui, who has thrown his hat to the ring. So for me, those are the prayers that I will tell the country. Let's pray in that direction. Then finally, let us also pray for the body of Christ, the church. Because the first platform to be divided in a political season is usually the church. You just need to come into a church like this. For me, it's just praying for men and women of God who will remain in the platform of Nathan. That they will not be swayed by property, they will not be swayed by short-term interest, but they will remain to be the true seers, men and women of God, who will rebuke, correct at the right time, do it in love and in boldness, speaking truth to power.
Absolutely. All right, good. I don't think I can add any more to what Vincent has said. He's truly summarized the issues and he's laid out the prayer agenda as we face 2021. I believe that this conversation has really been truly helpful to you, and I believe we've broken down some of the issues. And thank you so much for tuning in. Would like to hear your comments, some of the other issues you'd like us to discuss. We have a whole year coming, and I believe that the Gigi Report is going to be a platform that informs you, educates you, enlightens you, and inspires you to make a difference where you are. So for now, we have to bring this to a close. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and we wish you a wonderful, blessed new year 2021. And may the Lord bless you. Continue watching. God bless you.